Hey, what's going on, guys? This is my WrestleMania 26 review. First match, we had The Miz and The Big Show versus John Morrison and R-Truth. This was really good for what it was. It was nice and short and sweet. Provided a lot of energy, so I liked it. Next up, we had the Legacy Triple Threat match. We have Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase. Surprisingly, one of the brightest spots on the card. I really thought it was a lot of fun. Surprisingly, this Randy Orton face turn is actually working out for him so far. We're so used to him acting like an asshole, and he really is a prick in real life. I mean, I think everyone pretty much knows that, but this face turn's really working out for him. And Ted DiBiase looked great out there. I thought Cody Rhodes looked a lot better than he usually does. So I thought this was a really, really good match. Like I said, one of the brightest spots on the show, which is saying a lot. So next up, we had the Money in the Bank ladder match, which was a lot better than last year's, in my opinion. With 10 guys in there, a lot of people were worried about the pacing of the match, but I thought it was fine. You had a lot of nice spots out there. This didn't have the typical Shelton Benjamin blowaway type of spot that the Money in the Bank matches usually do. But you had Evan Bourne. He did the shooting star press off the top of the ladder to Christian, and then you had Kofi Kingston used once the ladder broke, he used the ladder as kind of sticks to try to grab the briefcase, which was really, really fun to see. Matt Hardy took some sick bumps out there. He took the Edge-O-Matic from Christian. He took a backdrop from one ladder to the other ladder. And eventually Jack Swagger was the guy that went over here. Surprisingly, he did, which I like. I think Swagger has a very respectable wrestling background, unlike Sheamus. And they're lacking a lot of heels right now in the main event scene. So I think it makes a lot of sense. The ending was cool. Swagger smashed Christian in the face with the briefcase to get to win the match. So pretty fun Money in the Bank ladder match. I wouldn't say it was one of the better ones, but I thought it was a lot better than last year's. It didn't have the sloppiness that last year's had. So next up, we had Triple H and Sheamus. Surprisingly, a really, really good match. Started off kind of slow. The crowd was kind of dead at first, but really, really good stuff. I'll give Triple H credit. I thought the fans were going to turn on him here and everything, but he stepped up to the plate. He kind of redeemed himself from last year to a degree. The crowd was rocking by the end of this match. One of the few matches that got the crowd really hyped into this show. I thought Sheamus looked pretty good out there. He got some nice offense in. So really, really good match. Surprisingly, a really solid match. Next up, we actually had Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk. For the time that it went, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a little bit too short. Mysterio pulled off some nice stuff. He did one of the Halloween Havoc spots, that DDT spot, which was awesome to see. I thought Punk looked great out there, like he always does. And the counters to the Go to Sleep were awesome. Mysterio countered the Go to Sleep into a Hurricane Rana. Then he did the 619 and then Splash to win the match. It's kind of disappointing that Mysterio went over. I thought Punk really needed to win this match. They need to start pushing him as the top heel on SmackDown. So I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling Mysterio at this point. Like I've said, it's been the same old shit for 8 years now. So, but hopefully CM Punk will get the upper hand at the end of the feud, and we'll probably get a big win at Extreme Rules. So, but for the time that it went, this was nice, fast-paced action. So I really enjoyed it. Great stuff. Next up, we have Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon. Unfortunately, I thought this match kind of dragged. It went a little bit too long. It really brought down the show. The show would have been amazing maybe if this could have been just a squash match. I expected a little bit more from this. I expected Bret to do more. I thought the whole lumberjack thing with the Harts was kind of unnecessary, but I understand it. But I really don't think this did a lot for Bret's legacy, to tell you the truth. At the end of the day, 12 years later, you probably say Bret Hart had the worst match at WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels had the best match, probably the best match of his life. So I don't know. I really don't see what this really accomplished for Bret. He did get his revenge to a degree. The overall feud and the story going into the match was a lot better than the actual match. But Vince did tap out to the sharpshooter. It was pretty cool to see that. But the overall match was it kind of did hurt the show a lot. So all right, next up we actually had Chris Jericho versus Edge. Excellent match. Really, really good stuff. One of Jericho's best performances, if not his best performance ever as a heel. He played a heel great in this match. I really didn't think Edge looked that great. I think Edge is going to have a tough time coming back from this injury. The torn Achilles injury is pretty tough to come back from. I know a lot of basketball players have, had trouble coming back from this injury. He looks a little bit out of shape out there, Edge, but as far as the actual match goes, it was really, really good. They played off the spear thing. There were some nice counters to the spear. Jericho did a nice small package to the spear. He did a nice code breaker to the spear. Eventually, Jericho tried to do the spear, and then Edge gave him the big boot, and Jericho went down from that. So, yeah, the action was really, really good. There's some times where you thought Edge might tap out. Jericho went to work on the Achilles tendon. So, great psychology, great storytelling. The fans were not really into Edge totally. It's kind of tough to buy Edge as a babyface, to tell you the truth. Some of the things he did in this match, I just could not stand. It's totally different from the heel Edge. So, yeah, I mean, but Jericho did go over here. There's a really nice near fall. Jericho took out the belt. The referee did not see it. Smashed Edge in the face. Edge kicked out for a nice near fall, but then eventually Jericho hit the code breaker to put Edge away. And yeah, this is just a very, very solid 4-star match. It wasn't amazing, but it was really, really good though. Then you actually had the aftermath was awesome. You had Edge actually spear Jericho through the barricade. Really sick spot. I thought Jericho might have got hurt. I'm not sure if he is hurt. So I thought a little bit better, but it was still an awesome match. So next up, we actually had I think we had the Divas match next. I'm not sure. I think we did, yeah. And then from there, we actually had Batista versus John Cena. I don't know. This match did not have the usual typical Cena heat. You can tell they really did not care who won this match. A lot of people hate Batista and Cena. And I'm really tired of both of these guys in the main event scene. I thought the SummerSlam match was a lot better actually, but this was okay. It wasn't terrible. It was still a pretty good match. You still had a lot of drama. There's a lot of Cena haters out there for some reason, but yeah, I mean, Cena winning the belt at WrestleMania. I mean, it's been going on for 5-6 years now. It's a little bit too much, to tell you the truth, but this had a lot of nice near falls. Batista did the Batista bomb. Cena kicked out. Cena did the FU. Batista kicked out. They did the SummerSlam spot with Batista power bombing Cena off the top rope. It did not have the impact that the SummerSlam one did. Batista wanted to protect Cena, so he barely even got him. So, and Batista did tap out to the STFU. I don't know. It just wasn't anything special. Maybe 3.5 stars at the most, but definitely nothing more than that for me. So that's just me. I really didn't think it was anything too special. All right, the main event: Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. Amazing. This really put the show over the top. I mean, it was. I'm gonna say it was even better than last year's WrestleMania match. The thing that made this different was they had something to play off of from last year. Shawn Michaels desperate. Wanted to win this match more than anything in the world, wanted to avenge the loss from last year. Shawn Michaels went to work on Undertaker's leg. Undertaker's legs really gave out in this match, so it was good psychology in it. There was some great spots. The moonsault spot was amazing. Basically, Shawn Michaels planted Undertaker on the announce table because Undertaker's knees were out, and Shawn did a beautiful moonsault, probably the best table spot I've ever seen onto Undertaker. Took out his legs even more. So yeah, this is an example where a mega spot or mega bump could really has an effect. So and then once Undertaker got back into the ring, he was kind of selling the fact that he couldn't walk, and Shawn Michaels super kicked him. Undertaker kicked out, and we got the same kind of near falls that we had last year. The fans were going crazy when Shawn Michaels kicked out of the tombstone. It was awesome. People really did not expect Shawn Michaels to kick out of this tombstone, but he kicked out of it again, and just a lot of desperation. Shawn Michaels was desperate to win this match. It was going to come to an end, but Shawn Michaels just slapped the shit out of the Undertaker. That pissed Taker off, Did a tombstone to Shawn Michaels again, put him away. I mean, this is just an epic match. I mean, you know, what a way to close out your career. You know, Shawn Michaels just as good now as he ever was, and excellent stuff. You know, if this is the last we'll see of Shawn Michaels, he went out with a bang. You know, the same way Michael Jordan went out in 1998. Shawn Michaels, you know, leaves the WWE in grand fashion. You know, this might be his greatest match ever. I mean, I'm not really sure. I definitely think it did surpass last year's Shawn Michaels Undertaker match. And, you know, just a great WrestleMania overall. I really enjoyed it. You know, from top to bottom, it was good. You know, it could have been amazing. You know, if it wasn't for the Bret match and Bret and Vince, it should have been booked a little bit better. And, you know, maybe they could have done without the Divas match. But, you know, just great stuff. Great action from top to bottom. So that's pretty much it. All right.